And I take this opportunity to thank each and every of you who's been subscribing. And we are right at 3,500 subscribers. And I know we're gonna get to 5,000 very soon. God bless you all. Thank you for your support. Those people been watching my videos without subscribing, please guys subscribe and then watch my video, or subscribe as you watch my videos. All right, why am I here today? Today I'm here to talk about why do marriages, or why are marriages said not to be working in America, or why do people think there are so many divorce cases in America? And I just want to say something, or I just want to highlight something. If you think marriages don't work in America, it is not true, because marriages can work anywhere. Hi Joyce, hi Stella. Marriages can work anywhere. It doesn't mean if marriage is based in America, if marriage is based in Qatar, or marriage is based in UK. Marriage should work wherever it is based, because marriage is not about a country. Marriage is about two people. So why do people think coming to America can make your marriage not to last? One thing, when you're an immigrant and you migrate to America, and you come here and settle, there are things that you will need to change as a man. There are things that you will need to change as a woman, so that your marriage can become, can have a good standing. So, when people come here, for example, I give you an example with a man. When a man comes here with his wife, there are things that man is supposed to change as soon as they check in America. As soon as you become an American resident, there are things that you will have to change so that you can be able to work well with your wife. And this also applies to the wife. The baby is doing good, Stella. Thank you so much. He's still coughing though. So there are things that you're supposed to do in order to get your marriage stronger, because this is a new country. There is a new culture here. There are things that are gonna change automatically, even without you contributing. For example, when you come here and you are married, you as a man, wherever you used to live, maybe for example, I say Africa, you used to be the provider of your house, of your family. When you come here, things do change, because now you will have to share bills with the wife, meaning the wife will be working and you will be working, and the bills will be shared either equally or however way, however you're gonna decide as a family. So now your wife has become a part of a provider, and you as a man now, you have to understand that now that the wife has become 50% provider, and this is not something that is a culture in our African way. You all know this, that ladies are not supposed to be providing, and also the Bible doesn't say so. So if you want to go by the Bible or the African culture, either way, it doesn't state that a woman is supposed to provide. A man is supposed to provide for his family. But when you come here, things do change, because bills are way high, and maybe the salary that you guys gonna be getting is not enough for one person to support the family. So things change, and now the wife becomes a provider here. And you as a man, there are things you will need to change to match this now new position that the wife. So what are you supposed to do as a man? One, you are supposed to understand that this wife of yours will be working for 8 hours, same as you. So you have a shift, she has a shift of 8 hours, and you have a shift of 8 hours. Whatever task they're gonna give her there, it's gonna get her tired. Same way you get tired when you go to work. So when you come home, there are the now house chores, and there are the kids here that are not supposed to be forgotten. And you know how house chores could be a lot, but men from Africa might not know until they come here, because back in Africa, they don't touch anything to do with house chores unless things have changed. And I know even if things have changed, it is not to everybody. So, as a man, you're supposed to understand that my wife now will be coming home tired and she has a share of bills. So, do not make yourself look like the African man who will never change. But when it comes to bills, it is easy to change and allow the wife to be paying the bills. But when it comes to helping her, you are now an African man who doesn't go in the kitchen, who cannot wash any dishes, who cannot help the wife even to make a bed. Whenever you get out of bed, you just blow the blankets away and then you get going because you have a wife that you married and she gonna come and take care of stuff. Remember, she is working, she's gonna come home tired, and she also gets tired because she is a human being like you are, and she's not supposed to act like a slave in your house. So, this is where men go wrong, and I'll start with men and then I'll go to ladies. So, men go wrong because they do not want to change when it comes to matters of helping the wife with the house chores. But when the wife is paying the bills, that is very much okay. And he understands it's the American system. But when it comes to him helping the wife wash the dishes, get the kids business done, and also doing the laundry and stuff, now this man becomes an African man. Trust me, your marriage will fail terribly because at some point, this woman of yours, this lady, she will get to understand that as a lady, she has rights too. She's not supposed to sit there and become a slave. She's supposed to be treated as a woman, and also she's supposed to be heard, and she also has a right to rest. So if you think you can just treat her as a worker in your house and then she goes out there and works and comes back home to bring money to pay the bills, no, your marriage will fail very terribly. Terribly. Yeah, marriage will fail, and then they will keep on saying, you know what? People goes to America, especially the ladies, and when they start getting money, they can no longer keep their marriages. That is not true. There are so many things that contribute to a marriage failure. Marriage doesn't fail because of just one thing or because of one person. It is a marriage for two. It is not for the woman. She's not responsible for the breaking of the marriage. No. That thing of saying a lady is responsible whether the marriage breaks or not, it is past, it is outdated. It is not the responsibility of the lady to keep the marriage. It is not the responsibility of the husband also to keep the marriage. But it is the responsibility of the two to work towards making sure that their marriage works. Being in America doesn't mean your marriage has to break, but being in America will get you, it will educate you from the old ways of thinking like, because I'm in America, I have to stay here even though I'm being abused psychologically, even though I'm being abused physically, I have to stay in this marriage. Why? Because my marriage has to work no matter what. So I'm not gonna give myself for the marriage to work. That is me. And someone else feels the same. So they can walk out of that marriage if they want, because they understand they are human beings and they are supposed to be treated with respect. If you want your marriage to work, you have to have respect. Everything has to revolve around respect. If you do not want to respect your husband, if you do not want to respect your wife, it ain't gonna work. And this is not something that you can choose. It has to be there. As a husband, when you move from Africa, this is America. When you get here, please learn how to treat women with respect. If you do not do that, the system will always, it automatically updates a woman. That when you get here, it automatically updates you that you are a woman, you have value, you should be treated with respect. So whenever it comes from you as a husband, treating your wife because now you believe because she's your wife, you can treat her the way you want, because you are that African man who never changes, shock on you, because we ladies, we kind of like adapt easily. So when we come to America, we adapt to the system that women should be treated with respect. If you don't want to treat your woman with respect, you will lose her. Unless she's that type of a woman who wanna just stay there, stick there, for better, for worse, for those people who said those vows, for better, for worse. Okay, there is that part of worse that Americans can't take in. So here is where you find that she will walk away from that marriage and she doesn't care what you're gonna think or the society gonna think, because here in America, they believe in your well-being. You come first. Everything else comes second. You have to take care of yourself mentally, physically, and everything. As a woman, you have to make sure that your mental health is considered in a marriage, and same as the men, because some women too are abusive. I do not side with anyone when it comes to abuse, because I know how much destruction it can do to someone's mind. So when you come here, you have to change as a man. Just make sure you help your wife with the house chores, as the same case she's helping you with bills. So now here comes another thing. As a woman, we also have to change. You have to understand that this is America and you have to have your share of bills. So when you come here, stop being that woman who is so tight with your money. Your money is your money, but the husband's money is the whole family's money. It doesn't work like that here in America. Yes, you have your money, but here when you come to America, the family money should be family money. Why? You as a wife, you have to contribute to bills. And you as a husband, the same thing. Husband will contribute with house chores, which wasn't their culture. And as ladies, we will have to contribute with bills, which wasn't our culture. So at some point, you will have to compromise. If you are not willing to compromise and you relocated to America as an immigrant, because American natives, they know this, they understand this, that kids are not woman's business and bills are not man's business. It is something we're gonna work together as a family, as a husband and a wife. And where we fall apart is when we have to stick by the old thinking. Me, I'm an African man, I do not listen to women, and me as an African woman, I do not pay bills. Men have to pay bills. That is what we believe. Oh, shock on you. When you come to America, you have to adapt very easily before you lose your marriage because of small things. And some men will even have the guts to say, you know what? Ladies, when you get to America, you grow horns. There are no horns. It is not called horns. These are not horns. They are just ladies who once did know their rights, and now they come to America and they understand it is not okay to be abused in any way. It is not okay to be demeaned for any reason. And that is where you feel like that lady did grow horns. They are not horns. They are called being enlightened. And it is okay to be enlightened, because some things or some type of slavery will not happen to you. So we ladies, we adapt easily and we give in easily to sharing the bills. But shida inakuanga hapa. The problem comes in here. When I have to go to work, I come home, I do laundry, I come home, I make the bed, I come home, I clean up the house, I come home, I cook for you, and I cook for the kids, I feed the kids, I take them to shower and everything. All that workload is left on me, and the husband now, the African husband, is now here, seated on the couch, relaxing, or even calling me to go and bring him something. Yet, I came from work, I got tired the same way he got. I have my share of bills, so I have to work. It is not a choice. And I'm here now. You are waiting for me to behave like that African, the African woman who you used to know. And here comes when you get tired. Because at some point, I will get tired and I will just get things straight. I will tell you, you know what? You have to get up and get yourself food. Or you have to help me bath the kids, or you have to help me clean up the dishes. And these men will say, you know what? You are becoming disrespectful. I did not marry you being this type of a woman, but simply because now you came to America, now you know I can wash dishes, right? And now you can even have the audacity to tell me to help you bathe the kids. This is a woman's work. No, it is not. And if you want to retain it as a woman's job, please provide, pay all the bills, and then the woman can stay like the woman that you want. Otherwise, it is not possible. It is very, 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 very impossible. And shock will be on you when she will get tired and decide, you know what? I don't want to stay here and get abused psychologically, or I get abused verbally, because there are men who knows how to talk and how to demean you with words. When you get tired, you will walk away, and the society will be now here. They will be here to judge you, to say how you broke your own home. Who cares? You cannot know about my home until you come and live in my home and get to know what is going on in there. You just watch how or what we decide to present to you when we get out there to the community festival or to the community occasion. When we get in there as a husband and wife, smiling, very, very happy people. Yeah, we're gonna become there like that because we do not want to be judged. So all the time we're gonna be wearing that fake face to show you guys marriage is really working. For us, it is working. In fact, it is working wonders. But when we shut those doors, there are those things that go on in that house that nobody knows except me, the wife, and the husband. And what you see out there, what we present, is only what you guys like seeing. Because every time a home is broken, a family is broken, and a husband separates with the wife, there are those talks that people will talk. There are those things they will come up with, thinking this was a failure of this person, or it was a failure, it was a responsibility of this person to keep their marriage. Nobody is supposed to keep a marriage that is not working. Nobody, not in 21st century. A marriage should work, yes, I'm not against that. In fact, nobody has ever prepared themselves to go and get married so that at some point they can break that marriage. No. It is everybody's wish to get into a marriage that will last until death do you apart. But there are so many deaths that might come in between that might separate you. And some of these things, they are not even big things, but they are little things that are neglected, that people don't want to talk about, that people don't want to solve, because my husband thinks I grew horns when I got to America, and me as the wife, I feel neglected. I feel like my things are not considered. There is nothing. I don't have a voice. Why? Because I'm an African woman. I should not tell a husband anything. I should not suggest anything, but I should just sit there and let the husband talk. And have the husband suggest everything that's gonna go around that home. Okay, it was okay when you are the provider, the sole provider, because I used to stay at home and suggestions could be welcomed from you. Everything that has to go on in that house revolved around you. But now, the minute you make me a provider and I have to go out there and come back home with something to present on the table, then it means even my thoughts should be considered. Whenever you try to show me like I'm not a person to be listened to, I cannot say anything. It just makes me feel demeaned, and it makes me feel like I'm being used, because it is okay for me to pay bills, but it is not okay for me to suggest anything. And here is where you get a husband is enough to start a project back home without telling you anything, nothing, zero. They will do a whole project of a house. And the reason as to why he has this money to start a project is because you are contributing to the bills. so he can have something to save. And he starts a project back home, and you won't know until neighbors will reach out to you telling you, you know what, I saw your project that you are having here. It is indeed a wonderful house. And you'll be like, huh? What are you talking about? Little do you know that your husband is doing projects behind your back. And you as a woman, you are committed here, because we ladies, we tend to commit ourselves fully. Like when we get inside with all our legs, with all our kidneys, and with all our lungs. Everything is there. All our heart is dedicated there. And now, the husband, because I'm an African woman and he is the African husband, who can do things without informing the wife the old way, the old way, without informing the wife, because men are supposed to do things. It is not necessary to tell the wife what you're doing. So by the time I find out that is what you're doing, or you're even sending money back home without even consulting me, yet we are working things together according to me, I will get mad and I'll feel demeaned. And this might make me feel like I do not count in this marriage. And whenever a woman feels I'm not counting in this marriage, trust me, they will walk away. She will walk away like she never walked in. And that will be final for some. And some others maybe will give you another chance if they can. And those who goes forever, they will go and you will miss them. Why? Because of small things that you could have corrected. Because you made yourself like a boss in a marriage. Simply because you are a man. Yes, I owe you respect the same way you owe me love. And it means unconditional love. Whether it is raining or whether it is sunny, whether it's snowing or not, you owe me love. And the minute you love a woman, you will also include her in your everything. You will let her know what is going on in your life, because your life is my life, our life is your life, and everything else works together. The minute a woman feels like she's not being considered in a marriage, she will walk away. And some of these ladies, they don't walk away until you push them all the way to the wall, and she feels like, you know what, if you can do your things without informing me, it means I'm in someone's, or I'm living in someone, with someone who doesn't need me in their life. And whenever we feel like we are neglected, the best way to help ourselves or to help ourselves cope with it is to just leave. And that is where we live. And I'm talking as a woman, so you better trust me. So, we live because we feel like you are not considering us. Why would I be somewhere living with someone who is not considering me? Who is living with someone who thinks I'm still that African woman who should be silenced? Yes, I believe you are the man and you are the head of the house. Yes, this is the head and this is the neck. I'm the neck. The head will never turn this way or this way if the neck is not there. So the neck is what joins the head with the body. So you better consider this, because there are things this cannot do as the head if it doesn't have the neck. The neck is important as the head. And you being the head, you should always show us how to do things. If you want to be respected, show us how to respect people by you respecting us. If you want me to treat you with respect, you have to respect me. How? By loving me. How? By involving me in all your things that you do. Do not do things behind me. Do not think that I don't matter, because if you think I don't matter, I will indeed show you I don't matter at all. So, African men, African women, we have to change when we come to America. Do not think that your woman is supposed to just come, cook everything when you are seated there watching a movie, and you're not even caring what the kids are doing. She's still the one to go show the kids homework. She's still the one to drop off kids that need to be dropped off and picked up, and then come back home, cook and serve you as a king. If you want to be treated like a king, treat her like a queen. Stop seeing her like an African woman, just that woman that you used to command. It is not bad to command, and a husband should be respected. A husband should be respected. That is very true. But a husband should also teach people how to respect people. That is the only way. Like they say, if you want your children to do something, get yourself in it, show them how it is done. If you want them to be going to church, do not instruct them to go to church. Go with them to church. So whenever you tell them about church, they can say, yes, even my mama does it. Even my husband, my dad does it. The same way with the women. Women, we are like kids. In fact, we forgive so much. And we cope with almost everything. So if you want me to respect you and to keep the same respect of that husband, the African husband who coughs and I say yes sir, then you have to love me the same way you used to love me back home. Provide to me the same way you provided to me back home, so that I feel like I'm in the same position. But if you want me to change position and start providing for the house, then you have to change too and get to help me with some work. American system has pressure. Hey, did I say pressure? It has pressure of its own. So when you come here, there are so many things that gives you pressure. So at times, I do not need pressure from outside and pressure from inside. I'm gonna burst. At some point, I will burst. So what you can do is to create me an environment back home that is welcoming. Same way I would want to do to you. When you go out there to work and you come home tired, it is very, very important to get into a house that is peaceful. A house that will speak love. A house that will show you, indeed, we missed you when you were at work. But if I come home and I find that face of an African man who is seated there, and he's just there commanding me to cook because I'm late and stuff, giving me pressure, I won't be able to cope up with it. Maybe for too long. Maybe I can for a period of time, but moving on, at some point, I will feel like it is too much for me. What happens when you put too much pressure in a balloon? It keeps on getting bigger the way you want, but if you keep on giving it pressure more than it need, it's gonna burst at some point. So in marriage, you take in so much, but at some point you don't have control of bursting. So when it bursts, nobody knows how much pressure was inside this balloon other than the person who was putting it and the balloon itself now. So it's hard for people to understand why marriage breaks, even though they seem so good, beautiful, working for everyone out there, but not working inside the house. So many marriages, they do work out there, but not inside their house. Inside their house, there is what we call fights. There is pressure. There is everything that is making that marriage to sink. If a husband and a wife cannot work together to make a marriage work, it is not the responsibility of any of them to make it work. If it is not the responsibility of both of you to make a marriage work, it is not the responsibility of the wife or the husband. So people decide whether they want to make their marriage work by contributing together. You have to work together for a marriage to work. And if one person moves off or goes away and thinks that because I'm the woman, I'm the one to make this marriage work, sorry to you, because I do not have the materials for marriage to work. Nobody has the materials for marriage to work. And if you still think that it is a woman's responsibility for marriage to work, then I will tell you, you know what? The husband is the provider, and he has to provide the materials that are going to construct this house. I am willing to construct this house to work, but I have to get the materials from the husband. If you bring to me mud, I'm going to just construct a house that is made of mud. If you bring me stones, I'm gonna construct a house that is made of stones. If you bring me gold, you provide gold to me, that is what I'm gonna use to make this marriage work. And this marriage will look like gold. If you want it to look like a mud house, it's gonna look like a mud house. If you want it to look like a grass made house, that is exactly what it's gonna look like. Yes, I know marriage is not a bed of roses. That is true. And it is not because you are living in America or in Africa. Marriage is not a bed of roses to everybody, but we have to choose what battles we want to engage in when we are in marriage. If you want to get into battles that will end us up dead, the marriage dead, then we will end up dead, because marriage is not broken by the outside pressure. It is broken by the inside pressures. So it is between me and you. If you want it to work, we have to work together as a husband and wife, not thinking because I'm the woman here, I'm the little one, because that is where we go wrong. If you think because I'm the woman, I am just there seated, I should just be there, getting told what to do, what not to do, and how to use my money, but the husband can use the money whatever he wants, with whatever he wants, and he can also have projects of his own. The minute you set off with that, the minute you set yourself that you can have projects as a husband, but we are married. No, we are not married. We are not married. If you want me to be married to you, include your money, your projects, your kids. Even if you have some other kids out there, let me know. The earlier, the better. But the minute I will come to figure out that there are things that you hide from me, whether it's kids or what, and including side chicks and whatever, whether it's projects, if you marry me, you're going to marry me with your money, with everything, even what you think. You have to marry me with that. With your everything. I have to be yours and you have to be mine with everything. There is nothing you're going to hide from me. Because the minute you hide something from me, I'm going to tell we are not together. I'm this way and you are this way. And it's going to fail. This marriage going to fail. It cannot last because they are secrets. Why are we having secrets? Yet we are living as a husband and wife. Yet we are making a life together. What life are we making together if you can still have some secrets? Some things that I'll be hearing from people out there telling me about a project that you are doing back home, and I'll be acting like I know what is going on, but I do not know, because at the same time I do not want to embarrass myself. Like, you do things behind my back, and these are true life stories. Like, someone visits you in your home and he comes and tells your husband something, thinking you know, and you do not know. You are hearing it as news, and you are there like laughing like a fool, being the woman. Yeah, you don't even know what is going on. But since you do not want to embarrass yourself and embarrass the husband, you are hiding it. And these are the things that homes go through. Like, marriages go through this. When you hide things, you have secrets, and at some point they will become known to me, or they will become known to you if I hide something. And what do you expect? Trust is broken. And when trust is broken, it is very hard to get it back. The most hardest thing on earth is to get trust back. And even people who break their marriages and then they get back together, they don't get back as before. They can assume when they are presenting themselves to people, for them to show them, like, you know what, you can even break with your husband and get back again and things will just go straight. That's a lie. In reality, back in their mind, they know it is not working as before, because every time I have to keep a check on him because I do not trust him anymore. Trust was broken and it's gonna take time for me to build the trust again. But people act like all is okay, but all is not okay. So back to those people who think when my marriage breaks, I have failed and I am not an enough person as a single person. That is not true. Why? Because so many people will live in a marriage for the status. Yeah. And there are those who are liberated. People who are liberated. They know that your status should not be defined by being married, or you do not have to stay there, stick there when things are not working. And this is not about ladies only, even men. Even men suffer in marriage, because there are those ladies who make men suffer in marriage. But the best marriage is the marriage that both the man and the woman are willing to work together to build their marriage. So a marriage will always break, and it is likely to break. And if it doesn't break, there is one person who will be living in that marriage for the sake of the other two, or the other one to live. Like being a husband, being in that marriage, not because it is working. It died long time ago. It rested in peace. And they even decorated the grave with flowers. But I am here. I have to stay here. Why? Because I have to maintain my status. I have to maintain my status. Why? Because I care what people say about it. What people will say about me. What people will think about me. So, you are forgetting yourself, and you are here starting to think about what people will say about your marriage. Seriously? Marriage is for you, not for the people. If it is not working, it is not working. If it died, it is dead. Just accept it is dead. Let it be buried and rest in peace. Because if the marriage doesn't rest in peace, some marriages will make the people or the people involved to rest in peace. So, what would you consider if it were you? Would you want to rest in peace or let the marriage rest in peace? What is easier? Why would I die somewhere because I'm trying to save something? Is there something better than me? Why should I die because of something that I can let go and maybe start afresh? So, because I care what people will say about me, because I care about being blamed for a failed marriage. Marriage is not a destiny. And marriage doesn't mean that people who are not married, they are not supposed to be people enough. Paul once, when he was preaching, he was a bachelor. And he said, if you would be able to stay like I stay as a single person, that would be good. But for the sake of people not becoming immoral, it is good to get a partner and get married. But I would recommend someone to stay single. Why? Paul was a preacher of the gospel, and I think there is somewhere he said he had a thorn in his flesh. Maybe he had a past that had affected him not to marry. Is what I think. So there are so many things that go in a marriage that are not known to other people but to you. So if you want to consider what other people will think about that marriage, then you will have to stay there even though it is not working. And a marriage doesn't mean that it can only be broken because of someone going out of marriage or cheating. It doesn't necessarily have to involve that. There are other things so big, tormenting, that can make you walk out of a marriage. And one of these things is abuse. Some people are in a marriage, but they will never ever be considered like they exist. They are in a marriage, but they are dead and gone. That partner of theirs buried them long time ago. And the only person who exists in that marriage is just one person. And that is why the marriage is standing, because one person died long time ago and was buried at the back of the partner's mind. And now the partner is here doing things and just dragging the other partner to whatever they are doing. And out there, you as the community, you think the marriage is working. No, it's not working. It is working because one person died long time ago. They died. They do not live there no more. They do not have a say. They do not have nothing to say other than contribute to the bills. Yes. And to stay there and watch after the kids. Because if we stay together, the bills will be less. And if we stay together, we will have to share the work between ourselves. So that is the only reason why I'm there. And some other people say, you know what? I'm staying in this marriage because, the kids need their dad. It is not fair for them. The kids need their mom. That's why we are working it together. Well and good for you. All the best. But there is this other thing. If you do not live wherever you are, if you cannot live your purpose because of someone else, you do not need to be with them. You are not supposed to be with that person. If you are there to live their life, it is not worth it. Because that means you died long time ago, and now the life that you are living now is the other person's. Why would I do that? Why would I bury myself when I'm living so that another person can live? Jesus Christ did that for everybody. You do not have to do that for them. The reason as to why Jesus came down here, died for everybody, is so that everyone else can now live as them and not for someone else. So, why would I bury myself so that my partner can live? So that this marriage can live? So that kids can have access to their dad like in day basis, or so that kids can have their mommy there? Because if I walk away out of this marriage, then my kids will not have a father, someone to call a father. And at the same time, if I walk out of this marriage as a man, then I do not think my kids can do well with their mommy when I'm not there. Why are you living for the sake of your kids? If it is not working for you, do you think if we get to think this deeper, do you think you are helping them enough the way you should without your mental, without having your mental health in place? Do you think it is happening? It is not. Whenever you as a woman stick in a marriage saying, you know what, I cannot go there because I cannot go anywhere because I have to have a father of my kids, because if I walk out of this marriage, then my kids won't have their dad. They will still have their dad. He is not their dad because you are living with him. He is their dad because he is the biological dad to them. So whether you live with him or not, it is not about them, unless you want to be, you want to be there because you are fearing to encounter the other life of singlehood. Now you want to stick here with the reasons of my kids won't have access to their dad. That's not true. If you do value yourself, if you know who you are, you can be able to get yourself out of an abusive relationship or marriage. You do not have to stay there because of kids. Kids will still grow. I know they will feel like they lost, but since the dad can, as long as the dad can access them, it doesn't have to cost your life to stay there so that you can provide a dad to your babies. You can provide a mama to your babies. That is why you are there, trying to make it look like it's working, but you are going crazy mentally. You look like someone who was forgotten so many years ago. Even when there are this type of people, when you even crack a joke, they cannot laugh at any joke. And you wonder what is wrong with them. You know what? They died long time ago. They died. They cannot see any human no more. Because where they live in that home, they have been made to feel like useless people. They now base everything else as useless. Even when you crack a joke, they are like, they're just here. So hard. Because they are used to being hard in their house. There is no laughter in their house. Nobody can make a joke in their house. So even when you make a joke, they don't know if that is a joke. It is not hilarious. Why? Because when they get inside that home, the look on their face is always hard. Yeah. In that home, there are no jokes. It's like this, business. So you get to see there are those type of people, but they believe they have to stay there and live that life because they have to provide a dad to their kids. They have to provide a mom to their kids. And when they separate, they believe the kids will lose. Yes, the kids will lose. But before I got to know you, before I got the kids, I got to know you. And when we met, we didn't have these kids. Kids have come later on. And most of the babies that we get, they are big blessing. But trust me, 99% of people who get babies, it is not like they sit down and they plan when to get the babies. No, they are in their own happiness, looking for happiness, enjoying themselves, and babies come. And we do embrace them because babies are a blessing. But it is not like we sat down and we said, you know what, coming here, around April, we can now start to think about how we can get a baby. No, they just come and join us. So why am I dying because of them? Why am I dying because of kids? No, I'm not supposed to die because of kids. I'm not supposed to sacrifice myself, put myself there, like put myself on the line, my life on the line, so that my kids can have access to their daddy. They can also have access to their daddy even though I'm not living there. And if they feel like it is a loss, it is also a loss to me, because remember, there are those years that I have invested in this marriage, and I will still be considering it as not a loss, because I want to move on and live my life the way I am supposed to live. I'm not gonna restrict myself like I have to remain married. Whatever comes may, I have to remain married because I have to be here for my kids. No, do not be there for your kids. At the long last, this is what I ask people. You are there, staying there with a husband that is not even good to you, so that you can provide him to your kids as the father of your children. So he cannot even be able to treat you right. Do you think he can treat your kids right? Do you think he's the best choice for your kids? Do you think so? Do you think so? If a man cannot treat you right as a woman, he's not the right person for your kids. Yes, he can be the father, but he cannot be a mentor to them. So why would I be living with someone to call him a husband and the father of my kids if he cannot be a mentor to my kids? So the life I'm living here in this home, when I shut that door, the life I'm living with this husband of mine, I have kids here who are looking up on him to copy what he does. How he treats me is what my son will treat the wife that he gonna get. So I'm stuck here because I want a father to my kids. Is he also a mentor to your kids? Will you be happy to be bringing up a man, your son, to treat a woman the same way your husband treats you? And the same case to women. Would you be happy to be bringing a lady who is your daughter to, would you be happy if they copy you and paste it to another man? Would you be happy? So it is so much, it's a lot of things that you should consider when it comes to marriage. Marriage is not based on just one thing, making it work. It is the lady's work to make it work. No, it is not. It will never be. Maybe it was those days, but it is not the lady's responsibility for a marriage to work or break. No, it is our responsibility as me and you, husband and wife. And we are here, we should be there to work towards it. If you're not working towards it, you are there relaxing and waiting for me to do it for you, then I can only do what I can be able to do as a woman. And you can only do what you're supposed to do as a man. And that is why a marriage consists of a husband and a wife, a man and a woman. Because a woman cannot do what a man can do. And a man cannot do what a woman is supposed to do. That is why you are not supposed to marry the same gender. Because a man can be able to fix a bulb. A man can be able to to change a tire. Maybe I cannot. A man can be able even to assemble things around the house. If you leave that to your woman to do it around your house, if you leave it to her, what do you think? Why would you think she cannot live by herself? Because you have left her to do everything that is supposed to be done by the husband, and yet you expect her to be that woman at the end of the day. Yeah, at the end of the day. You want her to be that woman that you saw first. You want her to be that lady, that girl that you married from the village. And now, moving forward, you have left everything to her to do, even fixing the bulb. Like, you can be in a house that has a husband, and this husband will not even fix things when they break in the house. What are you trying to show this lady? What you are trying to show her is that she can become a man also. And what will happen later in life? She will feel like she is enough by herself, and she won't hesitate. She won't even fear anymore to walk out of that marriage. Why? Because even when she has you there, you are not being supportive. Be a supportive husband to your wife if you want your wife happy. They say a happy wife, everyone is happy. And I believe that. And we ladies, we do not have complicated life. Okay, for me, it is not that much complicated that to make me happy. I like the simple things. And I know most ladies are like this because there are things that money will never buy. Never. I know you can have money and you can also volunteer to pay all those bills. But still, do not forget, a lady cannot be are happy because you are paying the bills and doing everything else if you are not concentrating with her. All she needs is your attention. All she needs is your time. So know how to treat your woman. And women, they should also know how to treat their husband, because when it comes to marriage, it is not just one way. It is two-way traffic. Two-way traffic. And those people who have beautiful marriages, because I know there are those people who have very beautiful marriages, and it is good for them because marriage should be very, very beautiful. And if you have one that is working, thank God, and keep on doing what you do to keep it afloat. But if your marriage did sink, if you okay, this English, if you use did, you cannot go to past tense. If your marriage did sink, you can always start afresh, or you can go back there if you have that grace and start doing what you were not doing in that marriage. Because there are things that you should correct as a woman. There are things that you should correct as a husband if you want your marriage to work. But there are no miracles when it comes to marriage. That if you think like, I have to relax myself and leave this for the other person, because marriage means more to a woman than a man. It is not true. Not true. Not in this era. You have just to level up and get to 2021. Leave this marriage for that used to be for people in 1970s, 1930s. No, you have to leave that era and come level up to 2021 marriages. You have to do what you are supposed to do as a man, and I have to do what I'm supposed to do as a woman, so that we make sure in this marriage nobody is living for the other. Nobody was made to die so that the other one can live. No, Christ did that for us all. I'm not supposed to sacrifice myself as the sacrificial lamb so that this marriage can work. If it is not working, then it is not working. Meaning, both me and you failed. It is not about one person. If a marriage fails, it is me and you mistakes. It is our mistakes. As me as the woman and you as the man, it is our mistakes that we did not resolve. If we got to resolve them, then we would be good and our marriage will be working. The minute it stops working, it means it's my failure as well as your failure as a man, not as a woman. No, this thing is not about women no more. So whenever you see me walking out there as a single woman, I am not a failure. I just was in a marriage that did not work, and I did not kill nobody. I did not kill. So why would you be labeling me and having this stigma on me because my marriage did not work? It didn't have to work because of me. It did not work because both of us, me and my husband, we did not get to resolve issues, which is okay. But now moving forward, when you get a failed relationship, moving forward, you know so many things that you did not know. And if someone comes and sits you down and asks you, what do you think made this not to work? You have them. You know them. You know what you failed to do, and I know what you failed to do. So there are those things both of us have to work together. Not for the kids, but first for us as a husband and a wife, and then the kids comes later. Because the happiness that is supposed to be passed over to the kids is supposed to start with me and you. In fact, that is why it all started. The reason as to why we got those kids is because at some point we were happy. We were enjoying ourselves. And then we got the babies. Babies don't just drop from heaven. No, we all know that. Babies are made. And when you made those babies, I am pretty sure you were not mad at each other. It is not like that. So that is where happiness is supposed to start, with you and me. If we are not happy, me and you, mother and father are not happy, there is nothing like happiness that can be passed over to the kids. You'll be always talking to the kids with the attitude, judging them for every single mistake that they do, and talking to them, yelling to them. Why? Because you're not mentally all right. You are not mentally all right. And it is okay to be single. So for those people who think it is not okay to be single, it is very okay to be single and happy. If you are not happy when you are married, try being single. Yeah. If the things that are bringing the sad state of affair is not something that you can resolve, then maybe being single can resolve it. And that is why people will walk away from a marriage. But again, marriage should work as long as two people are willing to sit down and resolve. And I'm not in this marriage because of my kids. That should go away completely. There is nothing beautiful about someone who is not happy bringing up kids and staying there to bring up kids. Because what kind of mentorship are you giving the kids? Like, you are staying there simply because I have to be here because of my kids. They have to have their daddy. They have to have their mommy here. That is why I'm sticking to this woman. So, what do you think at the end of the day? Do you think you achieve that? Do you think that one is achieved? It is not achieved. You are lying to yourself. You are living a lie. You are living a lie by mentoring your kids in the wrong way. Letting them know that people should always look dull. People should always look like they have been beaten by dogs. Every time you talk to them, they're like, ah! Because all the time they feel like they're being attacked. Because whoever they are living with is not giving them peace of mind. So whenever you try to talk to that person, or whenever you do something very little like this, they're ah! Because they sit like this waiting for the worst to happen. Not for the best, for the worst to happen. Because that is the life they have been living in this marriage that people see out there as very beautiful. Marriage to be admired. Marriage that has nothing to do with anything close to them separating. Why? Because when we walk out there, we walk together, smiling, and after church, we have to take these beautiful couple photos, and we're gonna pose. Yes, yeah, it's okay to do all that, but for the people. But when you stop living for the people, you now start living for yourself. And that is where you realize, you know what? I think this is not how I'm supposed to be treated. This is not the marriage that I called for. This is not the marriage that I would love to die in. No, this is not where I would want my gray hairs to be shaved in this home looking like this, only for me to live here for 80 years. But for the 79 year, that is when I will start to see, you know what, I made the wrong choices by choosing to stick in this marriage. And now I am 79 years. Next year is my 80 year, and I have never been happy. I have never been happy. For my teeth to show when I'm inside my house, it is only when I'm taking the spoon into my mouth eating. Every other time, I'm in that house feeling sad, feeling lonely, yet I am married, but I'm feeling lonely. Married but lonely. And there are so many people who are living like that. Married but lonely. Married but single. In real sense, they are single. But out there, they are married. So, why would you be in a rush to judge someone who just let go the marriage that was not working, who let go a marriage that they were not happy, they were just there, staying there, not happy, and all they did was to put that face to just make you comfortable, because that is what you want to see. When you see me, you don't want to meet me crying. Of course, I know that. You don't want to see me dull. Of course, I know that, and I understand that. So, whenever I meet you, I'm going to put that fake smile. I'll be smiling. Yeah? And whenever you talk about home, I'll just try to show you how home is beautiful. My home is beautiful. Things are working out. No, they are not working out. And when you will get tired of pretending, that is when you will walk out. And that is when people walk out. So stop stigmatizing them. There is nothing like an achievement. Marriage is just one thing of the so many things that you can achieve in life. It is not just marriage for you to be considered as a person who has achieved. No, there are so many people who are in marriages and they have failed in so many other things. So if marriage was supposed to stay or to show like an achievement for everything else, then people like just the other day we heard that this Microsoft person, Bill Gates, He's separated with his wife, and they have all the money in the world that you would ever dream for. So marriage is not just about one thing. Marriage is about so many things, and life is not based on marriage. So we better understand this. Life does not revolve around marriage. Marriage is one thing in life where you can achieve, and achieving a workable marriage, it is a plus. Yes, it is a plus. But remember, in life we have to do plus and minus. When I do minus, it doesn't mean I'm always losing. No, I can minus something that is not adding value to me, that is not bringing happiness to me. That doesn't mean I'm losing. Indeed, I'm gaining, because I want to gain my happiness by letting go a relationship that is not working. So to you, you might think I'm losing. I'm not losing. I am gaining, because when I'm in that marriage, I'm not gaining anything other than sadness, other than crying all the time, other than faking smiles, other than acting like everything is all right when I know I am dead inside. Why would I consider myself to be good when I'm dead? No. So we do math, and when we plus or we minus, it doesn't mean, in real life, it doesn't mean you are losing. You are not always losing when you are subtracting, and you are not always gaining when you are adding, because you can add things into your life that are not helpful, that are not adding no value, yet you are adding them into your life. So it all depends with how you're gonna decide to do what you want to consider as a value in your life, and what you consider as not being a value in your life. Let not people drive you anywhere, because all those people, most of them who you see out there judging you, and who you see there labeling you as a single mother, most of them, they are not happy. They are in the marriage for the status quo. So if I decide that is not what I want, it is my choices, because everyone is entitled to their choices. If I choose to live single, maybe it's because in marriage I did not gain anything. I am not gaining anything when I'm there. I am just becoming smaller and smaller, belittled and belittled, and I'm tired of this life, and I want to get out there and now start living as myself. I start pursuing my goals, because so many people, when they get married, they forget about their purpose on earth. They forget about their goals in life. Why? Because they cannot be let to be. In a marriage that you cannot be let to be, all the time you are being silenced. You cannot do this. Why? Because you are a husband to somebody, because you are a wife to somebody. You cannot do this. So you cannot do this, you cannot do that. You will end up growing old without having met or realized your goals, because you got into a marriage that did not add no value to you. The only value that you can count is the kids, and kids are blessings. But beyond having kids, there is another life of you as an individual that you are supposed to pursue, so that when you die, you won't just leave the kids, but you will also leave some legacy. And if you do not follow your vision, if you do not work towards your vision, because this marriage of mine cannot let me be the siwakago, it can only let me be wife too, then later, eventually, what will be left, or the life I will just have lived, will be the wife too, and not Esiwakago. Because when I got in this marriage, the SC has to disappear. Any marriage that makes your real self to disappear and become marriage person, just marriage, nothing else, marriage, and become that wifey that can not go beyond the store, cannot do anything else other than grooming the kids, cleaning the house, cooking for the husband. If you cannot live a life beyond that, because you are in a marriage, that is not a marriage, it's a cell. That is a cell. And I believe if you do not change things, if you do not realize your value and your purpose, which is very important because God did not create you to just come get married. And God never created anyone for the purpose of marriage. But God created someone for the purpose that He has assigned them for. So, you gotta choose if you want to live for the purpose of marriage, which is your desire to get married, because it is not everyone's desire to get married, or you want to live the purpose why you were created. If a marriage is belittling you, demeaning you, and making you live just for the purpose of marriage, everything else you do, it revolves around this marriage, then this is not the thing to do. Or you might decide to do it, but then when you die, you will just die as you, and you won't have impacted anything more greater than just having kids, because that is the greatest blessing in a marriage that one can have. So if you choose to follow your dreams, then if that person you are in that marriage cannot support you, you are not supposed to be with them. No. Nobody should get married to a person who doesn't support their dreams. Why are we together then? Why are not then with everyone else but you? I am with you because I believe you are supposed to be my number one supporter. If you cannot be my number one supporter, why am I with you? Why should I live in this marriage that, after all, after living for 100 years on this earth, what I will live with on my what do they call it? Eulogy. What's gonna be read there will be, she left behind a husband and 4 children. So what if I didn't have children when I was living with you? Because it is not a must to get kids when you're in a marriage. It is God's blessing to have kids. So it means all I would have done on this earth is to be born, to grow up, and then to get married and die. Four things, just 4 things. She got born, and then she grew up, and then she got married, and she died. Just 4 things in life. Those are the only things that you have achieved in life. Why? Why would you limit yourself that much? Because you got married to a person who cannot support your dreams. You are supposed to get married to a person who can support your dreams, even though they seem bigger than his or hers. Marriage is not a competition. Marriage is supposed to be an institution where we are supposed to support each other, for better, for worse. That is how for better, for worse should come in. But not for better, for worse when you are abusing me or when I'm abusing you. No. But when you are supporting my dreams and when I'm supporting your dreams. Stop saying this thing like, me, you know what she does is not my thing. What do you mean it's not your thing? I am your thing in the first place. So whatever I do should be your thing. It should be your thing. As long as I'm not sinning. As long as I'm not going against the marriage rules. It should be your thing. You cannot tell me you cannot support me because I am a gospel artist and singing to you is not your thing. I'm not telling you to sing. All I want from you is moral support. And that is not very much to ask from a partner. So telling me, you know, she's a gospel artist and singing is not my thing, that is her thing. What are you trying to tell me? You're trying to show me like whatever I'm doing is outside us or you. This is my thing. I have to know how to go about it. Even if you cannot sing, I'm not telling you to sing. I'm not telling you to back me up. I'm not even telling you to appear in my videos when I'm shooting for the music. All I would want from you, maybe when I'm going for that shoot, you can come with me and support me with whatever I will need. Drive me there and pick me up if you do not want to stay there. But stop saying your marriage partner's thing, what they love doing is not your thing. You are just being unsupportive. That is being unsupportive to her, unsupportive to your husband. And they also say, if you want to support your husband when they are watching football because they like it so much, just stay there. You don't even know who are playing. Just stay there and give him moral support. Yeah? Just stay there and just when he screams, just scream because they won. You do not even know how it went, but you are there just to support him. Same thing with a husband. Support your wife. Support what she does. It doesn't have to be your thing. No. but you can show support even to things that are not your thing. The willpower can drive you to do anything, because it is you who decides, I'm willing to do this. Okay, I will go through the comments. I have talked so much. I will just holler to people. Few people. Joyce Kawera, how are you? Stella, how are you? I see you. Susan Bote, how are you? Tuned in. Wazee hawataki kutii, not easy. Yes, Susan, that is true. Farmsoft, tuned from Kenya. Thank you so much. Betty Ezi, how are you? My girl. Guy, Jasma, how are you? How are you? Peace of mind is a very important. Life is too short. That is true, Mary. You are right. Gifted hands family says very true. People should learn to love themselves. If you love yourself, you can't let anyone to abuse you. And the same thing, the reason as to why you see people are feeling like it's too hard to love someone is because they don't love themselves first. You should love yourself first so that you can be able to pour the same thing to the other person. You have to work very much on your heart, because you pour from your heart, and whatever is in your heart is what you will pour to the other person. If it is hatred, because some people have a very dark heart, they have a black heart, like there is nothing to them that appears good. Everything is judged from a negative perspective. So work on your heart. Get to know that you can only be able to live with the people if you are able to live with yourself. In your heart, you have to work very much on your heart to become what you would want to see in other people. All right? If you would want your woman to be respectful, then you have to be a person who respects people, who respects her, and are gonna reflect. If you want to see love, then you have to love. You yourself, you have to be what you want to see. And I have someone here called Bombolulu. Bombolulu, are you in Mombasa? Let all stay single, especially Kenyans in diaspora. Better still, don't bring forth children. Okay, most people try to put life to dead, relationships stop. Esther Waiganjo, I hear you. Susan Mwenda, tuned from Kenya. Yeah, most relationship, it's not like they are working. They are there to maintain status. And when some people feel like they cannot be able to stick there just for the status, and they feel like they have a life to lead out there, everybody has a very big life to live. Let me tell you this. But if that life is being thinned by the person you are living with, it's better off without them, because they should only make your life more bigger. They should only bring positive impact in your life and not negative. Yes, there are those ups and downs, but then they should be the little things that everyone else is getting. Okay? Like lack of money in a marriage, it doesn't mean that marriage should not work. It should work 100%, because marriage should never be started on the basis of money, how much you earn or how much you don't. Marriage, it should not be based with how much. It should always be based on how much, or with how much, if we are talking about love, if we are talking about respect, if we are talking about other things that we are doing together, but not competition. So, guys, should I end this live video so that I can prepare dinner here? And please, keep on keeping on. Don't ever forget to chase your dreams. Never ever bury your dreams because of marriage. No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Even in heaven, they won't have husband and wife. These are things that will end up in this earth, on this earth. Once we go up there, there are no husband and wife. So do not waste your life because you have to remain married, and do not end your marriage because of small things that can be resolved. Marriage should be beautiful. Marriage should work from every corner of the world. Marriage should work 100% if two people are willing to let it work. If two people are working towards getting it work. That is the secret. See you guys, and thank you so much for tuning in and keeping me company. God bless you so much. And keep on subscribing and keep on sharing, keep on commenting. Esther Waigajo, I see you. Thanks for great informative session. Keep on keeping on watching from Washington. Thank you so much, Esther. May God take all the glory. And people who are here, they know what I mean by how this country has pressures that keep us on our toes. So you do not want to go home to a house that is full of sadness, a house that is, you are going to meet someone there who you left in the morning being sad, being mad at you, and when you come back after 8 hours, they are still mad at you. People in marriage should always be forgiving. If I do something bad to you, just speak it right away. Let me know what I did bad. I would be able to let you know if it is something I can rectify. Not going to work and coming back home to cry, and I left when I was crying. It is not a good thing, because we need our sanity, we need our mental health, and we don't want people to be killing themselves because of things they are going through in marriage. Why? Why would you die? Guy, me, if I was to be asked, Corona Jorio, I would want to be that person who be the last to be going to heaven. The last person who gonna be locking the doors of this earth so that we can migrate to heaven. I don't want to die. I don't. And I wouldn't want anything that can make my my sanity to go haywire. Enjoy your evening, Essie. Susan Mwenja. Yes, yes, yes. May you guys have a good evening and good day. If we are in China, I know it's in the morning, in Australia, maybe. And here it's a good night. I'm gonna make some chapo. You guys are all welcome for chapati and some stew before it is too late for me to have something to eat. Thank you so much and God bless you. I'm always grateful to see you here and for you showing me support. I do not take anything for granted. God bless you. Keep on keeping on. See ya.